Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of wanted to get on here and just do like a real, I say this every time, like a real raw video. I didn't actually take any notes this time. A lot of times I take notes and I read off of like, you know, my previous thoughts. But today I just kind of like felt in the mood to kind of get out here and talk about this. So I kind of just wanted to talk about being an ambivert today. So I recently discovered there's such a thing as an ambivert. So many people consider themselves an introvert and others extrovert. So an introvert would be somebody who, you know, more likes to keep to themselves. They are not as outgoing. They're usually shy. Those are like the traits that are usually associated with being an introvert. And an extrovert is typically somebody who's very outgoing, who loves and thrives off of, you know, interactions, social interactions with other people and stuff like that. And they're typically presented as opposites. So for me, as a person who loved having friends, loved getting to know people, loved making friends and like being in social situations, but also at the same time really despised it in a way and got like stressed out in a way. It was a little hard because I'm just like, I don't know what to classify myself as. Not that you have to classify as anything, but just for me, in my mind, and the way that my brain works, I just felt like I needed to understand, like, why am I so weird? Like, why do I just like love hanging out with people but at the same time get like socially exhausted or overwhelmed after being in like situations with like, you know, having to talk to a lot of people and mingle and all that sort of stuff. So in the past few years, like since Tumblr, I was a big Tumblr girl since like 2009 or whatever, and I kind of like found a little bit of like unique crowds who identify in this way that, you know, they struggle, they're the misfits, the odd people out or whatever, and I actually fall into that. I feel like I fall into that category, and I always have felt that. And in terms of personality, it always sucked for me because so many times I want to like hang out with friends, I'm like interested in developing relationships, going to networking events, that sort of thing, and I just can't bring myself to do it because it's emotionally draining, and so it becomes a stressful event for me anytime I really want to hang out with anyone or do anything. And so like I find myself lately, especially with like, you know, moving and all that kind of stuff in a new job, like not really being that good about replying to texts, not really being that good about going out. Like I'll choose any excuse I can get to not go out. And it's not because I don't care about people that I'm making plans with or I don't love my loved ones or anything like that. It's genuinely because I get emotionally overwhelmed and socially exhausted. And I think it's like a really important thing. The reason I want to talk about it today is because I don't think it's something that's necessarily generally accepted or generally discussed, that, you know, it's okay if you get socially exhausted or overwhelmed from being with, you know, being in a situation with too many new people or feeling like you have to be a certain way in a situation and presenting yourself. And, you know, if that happens to you, that's okay. Obviously, it's not something that's really talked about that much, I guess, but I have realized, wow, that's actually okay. I shouldn't feel like an insane amount of guilt if I really just can't bring myself to go out and interact with others because I'm so emotionally overwhelmed or exhausted. And actually one of my great friends, we were talking about this a few months ago about like how she went out to a party and then she was like, oh, I just want to leave, like not because she hated everyone, not because she was just like bored or disinterested. It was just because she was emotionally and socially overwhelmed and exhausted. And that happens to me every day, literally every day of my life. Like I go to work and then I get socially overwhelmed and I just get through it because it's not, thankfully for me, it's not so bad where it's to the point of like depression or anything like that, but it does happen to people where it gets so bad to the point of like I just can't handle social interactions with people. And so that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because I think it's really important to realize like that not everyone is just outgoing or shy. Like some people are in the middle, and I feel like that's how I am. And I think it ties in a lot to mental health as well, because I do have anxiety, really bad anxiety, and I think that has a lot to do with why I get socially overwhelmed and exhausted, because I really do think a lot about every single thing I say to someone and how they react to it, and I take things very personally, and all these different fears go through my head when I, you know, mess something up. And I think that's a lot for any human being. It's just draining to just be thinking constant thoughts all the time of like almost paranoia in a way. And so I don't know, I just kind of like wanted to, I guess, vent in a way about that, and also just see if there's anyone else out there that kind of like has similar thoughts or feelings about that or understands where I'm coming from. I have actually seen a lot on the internet which is what prompted me to like talk about it today. But I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, I identify as an ambivert, and I really have felt that, like, I don't know, it's made me feel really comfortable hearing that and seeing that, because I think it's really important for people to like realize not everyone is just one way or the other, and some things are harder for people than others, and you wouldn't really realize that unless you kind of have the knowledge of it. Like, I would never guess somebody's socially exhausted if they just decide they want to go home, you know? Like, I don't think that's anyone's first thought. But now, after like really reading a lot about it and learning a lot about it, I realize there are all different types of personalities, and some people are affected by things more than others. And, you know, even people without like any mental health struggles still can be an ambivert, or still can, you know, struggle with personality traits and feeling like different, you know, pressures and such in terms of interacting socially. So anyway, I would love to know what you guys think and how you guys feel, if anyone is kind of like on the same wavelength with this. It's definitely something I'm working on, totally hard. Like, it sounds weird to be like working on something that's like part of who you are, but I don't want to be that way. I don't want to get socially overwhelmed. I would love to just be able to go out with my friends and be happy and joyful all the time instead of just some of the time. Like, it really depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I can't go out because it's just too much, it's too stressful for me, and I don't want to live that way. So it is something I'm working on, and just trying to be more open and honest about with my friends, especially, so they understand, like, wow, she's not blowing me off, she's not a total jerk, she just gets really overwhelmed. And yeah, so anyway, leave your comments down below, let me know what you guys think, and if you guys can relate at all, I would love to like start a conversation about this. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching.